come to Plugins and Add New. Search Elementor here. Click Install. And then Activate. And that's it for the free version. And then if you bought the paid Elementor Pro add-on, you install that as an additional plugin, as well as the free version. You need both of them installed and activated on your site. So visit the Elementor site at elementor.com and log into your account area. Then click Download Plugin. Once it's downloaded, in Plugins, it's Add New again. Upload plugin, and then browse for and upload the zip file you downloaded from your Elementor account, and then install and activate. At this point, you will want to activate your license so that you get support and automatic plugin updates for this particular site. You can actually do that easily by clicking Connect and Activate here. Then Connect on the next page. Now, I personally have the unlimited license for use on unlimited sites, but it checks to see if you've used up your allowance if you have one of the other limited plans. You can also deactivate your license here if you want to, but in your Elementor control panel, you can also see all the sites you've activated and deactivate them if you want to there. That's the install done. Now let's look at those two settings that it's essential to make. Let's come to Elementor settings. The first is to check both these boxes to disable global colors and global fonts. Why do we tick these two boxes? Well, as you know, we set our global styles for the site in the theme within the customizer. So those styles in your themes customizer affect the entire site, which is why we say that they're global styles. Header, the footer, your blog post, and everything. If we leave these two boxes unticked, Elementor also loads its own set of global fonts and colors as well. And there are three big problems if that happens. First, your site has a ton of code it doesn't need, which leads to slow loading websites. Two, you have to set all your typography and color settings in two places now, in the customizer and Elementor styles in this area in Elementor settings, which duplicates your effort, and we don't like wasting time. And three, it's much harder to know where styling rules are coming from. You don't know if a particular font or color is coming from Elementor, or if it's coming from your theme's style settings. If your main styles are in the theme, meaning in the customizer, and you've disabled Elementor from loading its own global styles, you've only got one place to manage. Elementor will then simply just inherit your theme's global styles. They kind of trickle down all the way through Elementor as well. So if you add, say, H1 heading in Elementor, it will, by default, just automatically be in the style for H1s you set in your theme's customizer. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't override those global settings on an individual basis with Elementor. Far from it. You can go nuts making custom style settings on individual widgets. But this setting just makes sure that your basic global branding defaults are in one place. It's the right way to do it. Plus, your customizer has way more in-depth options for setting typography and colors than Elementor's own global settings have. Elementor settings are actually pretty basic. It's another good reason to disable them. Now over to the Style tab and Content Width. Now this tells Elementor how wide you want Elementor created content to be. And it's at 1140 pixels by default, but you can feel free to set it to whatever you like. Whatever makes sense for each site's particular design. There really is no magic number. That 1140, I think, is just a figure that Elementor plucked out of the air. What's important is that you set the same content width in your theme's customizer settings too. Your theme will likely call it container width or something along those lines, but it's the same thing. It's the maximum width of your actual page content. So in GeneratePress's customizer, it's the container width setting here. Other themes have similar setting. So for example, if you wanted to leave the default 1100 pixel container width setting in place from your theme, you then just have to go to set Elementor's content width at 1100 too. So this is just so that your main content area of a container, regardless of whether it's displayed with your theme's template or in a custom Elementor layout, will always be the same width. Having them different makes for very inconsistent layouts and things looking very odd generally. No, there's literally no best or ideal width to set, just in case you're wondering. And you can always change it at any time, just to suit your design. Just remember to change it in both places if you do.